Any news from the week, perhaps?
Yes, absolutely. And I realize I've got the wrong link here, but nevertheless, this link will tell us the same thing. So yes, I do have news and I do have information to share if you'd like to share my screen.
I'll do that.
All right, perfect. That looks pretty good right there. All right, so now that I'm actually sharing my screen, this might make a little bit more sense. For those of you managing Apple devices, from time to time, Apple have new terms and conditions that affect Apple Business Manager, School Manager, and things like that. And here's where I said I had the wrong. That's not what I wanted. I had the wrong link because this is an older announcement for it. But here next week, April 14th, Apple will have new terms and conditions that need to be accepted again. Otherwise, your devices that are managed with Intune, your Apple devices, will no longer sync with Intune until you accept those terms and conditions. So
And I believe you cannot also enroll new devices into the platform until.
absolutely correct.
All right.
All right. So I will actually, in our links for this evening, I will have the correct link that has the correct date, but the gist is the same as what I have up on the screen right now.
All right.
That's live demos for you, right? Or live sharing information.
I think I saw the Intune support account tweeting about it.
They did. I thought that was what I shared. But nevertheless, we'll get the right one up. Also came across, I saw somebody happen to share this. Pretty cool article from Wim Matheson. It's a PowerShell script. Heck, you may have shared this actually, Johan, or retweeted it. PowerShell script to deploy BgInfo. The article's title says for Windows Server 2025, but of course this does work on older versions of Windows Server. So this is BgInfo, very commonly deployed, especially across servers, which if you haven't used it in the past, you may have seen before. Basically, BgInfo takes system information and places it on top of or over or replaces your desktop wallpaper so that you have information that shows things like what server am I connected to? What version of Windows is it running? What is the IP address? And additional information should you want to have that in your environment. So having a way here to easily deploy and configure that, very useful. This is something if you've used our hydration kit, we have something kind of similar going there.
That must be one of the best first name ever.
Wim,
First names, yeah.
that's fantastic. What are the odds somebody named Wim gets into the Windows system administration, systems management industry? I love it.
Yep, respect right there. Good stuff.
Absolutely. Also came across, there was an article I think just posted this afternoon on some updates that are coming to Autopatch. One thing that I was really excited about is the Autopatch reports are now going to cover all Intune managed devices instead of just devices that are managed by Autopatch. So I thought that was pretty exciting. It was a thought that I had when these Autopatch reports were first rolled out. Hey, why don't we just have everything on here? You might be able to filter it on Autopatch devices or something like that. And I know I'm not the only one that had that thought. So very cool to see that. In addition to that, there is also going to be 4-hour updates to these reports. So pretty exciting there. That's a huge performance improvement, I would say. There are some additional Autopatch features that I haven't quite gotten to dive into yet in this article, but there's some new additions to or changes to Windows Autopatch groups. So excited to see some improvements here in these features for sure. And last but not least, Johan, you might want to chime in on this one a little bit as well, because you actually pointed this article out to me. A fantastic article, Troubleshooting Windows Feature Updates in Microsoft Intune. I even find myself these days, we'll have a device that a feature update isn't coming down, and really, in the absence of some of the logs that I'm used to or that we're used to using with ConfigMgr, for example, or having available to us, sometimes it really just feels like, well, I don't know why these feature updates aren't coming down. But of course, that's not really the case. There is always a reason in the background that your feature update isn't coming down. So it's important to, that's basically what this article steps through. Are all of your prereqs met, first and foremost? Are specific services running? Do you have your policies updated properly, or assigned properly? There's a whole bunch of different information that is actually available to you for troubleshooting feature updates when you're assigning them through Intune. I'm going to keep this article handy for the foreseeable future. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Wasn't sure if there was anything specifically that stuck out to you, Johan, in this article, but
no, but it's just fantastic to see support engineering taking the time and actually summarizing a lot of that, the stuff that they know, they have seen, worked with customers, figured out. More of this, absolutely love it.
Absolutely. I would say this right here were two of the things that stuck out to me. Check that Microsoft account sign-in assistant service and connected user experiences and telemetry service are running.
It's not the first two things you check. It's like way down the list.
Exactly. So really great stuff here. Thank you again for sharing this with me, Johan. This is a fantastic resource. But that was what I had for today.
All right, then. A couple of things. First of all, I wanted to highlight that I'm not sure how to even pronounce that, but PH like friend, but a weird spelling. Here on the YouTube channel, I saw a comment earlier. Good evening, thank you very much. But last week we had a question regarding how to figure out if a ConfigMgr client, what WSS server it was using. And we didn't have the answer top of mind at the moment. But when I took a look later in the comments, because I do get notifications when people commenting after the fact, and that is not the right session. That is today's session. That was you, Andrew. This one from last week, we got a reply in here that basically says, "Oh yeah, you can absolutely find it in that WMI class."
Do you?
I probably should share my screen also.
Yep.
Here. So basically, I went to the our live website where we have all our recordings for all these office hours. Went down to last week's session, and sure enough, there were a reply here from friend. I'm going to call him friend, but using that class in WMI. And sure enough, I took a look in one of my own environments here. Let me see, not that one, but let me go to one of my clients that happen to use a software update point. So two ways to get to it. Of course, you can use, if you're just interested in browsing for WMI stuff, data, you can open up the good old WMI Explorer. Has been around for a very long time. And you can start to poke around in the different classes that ConfigMgr creates. So for example, in the software updates class, there is a WUA handler. And in this one, there is indeed a CCM update source. If I click that instance, you can see that my machine is the server it scanned last against was this one here. And I can also achieve the same from just PowerShell. Just ask for that information and it will tell me that will be the server. So thank you so much for sharing that information. Useful stuff. Absolutely. Then we have another friend, and that was Mr. Mike Terrill, that kindly reminded us of ConfigMgr 2309 going out of support today. And sure enough, I switched over to one of my older labs, not my main lab, but this one here. And when opening that console for the first time, I got a notification about 2309 not being supported, whereas my... Oh, sorry. That's not the one. This is 20... This is my 2503. Very much supported. This one here. If I go to the console. Ta-da! Site server is past the end of support. You better update right now. It doesn't mean that the server stops functioning. It means that you should do upgrades because it's no longer supported, meaning no longer tested. So thank you there, Mike. Appreciate that. Then on a totally different topic, I stumbled across a post from Thomas Maurer, now Microsoft these days, but he shared out that Microsoft just released a new video series on Arc Jumpstart training. So if you're interested to learn more about Arc, for example, for server patching, this would be a good starting point. So glad to see that. Then I stumbled across that Oren Thomas shared some information about upcoming network changes for Azure VMs that require outbound internet access. Going forward this year in September, you will need to specify exactly what outbound methods that is used. So just a friendly link or a friendly reminder, bookmark that link and make sure you don't have any of those. That needs to be some configurations. You did share the new Autopatch features. I'm not going to share that one. I did see that Mr. Rod Trent got a new job with Microsoft, but a different position. So he ended up being a program manager for their private communities. So congratulations, Rod. If there's a person to lead community stuff, it is him. He's been part of our ConfigMgr SMS community since like 2000 for the past almost 30 years now, but at least 25. So well done there. And then I stumbled across a little feature in the security update that was released yesterday. The April update had a little bonus, it turned out.
No.
It creates an empty. Extremely handy if you eventually want to add a web server to your workstation, but nobody knows why that folder is being created, but it is being created.
Interesting.
And I saw some other people reporting the same thing later, but congratulations if you patch your stuff with the April update. Yep, you get a bonus free of charge. As far as I know, free of charge.
There could be some surprises there.